per hour. They made no headway. It was dark. They flew for hours, and they were out of gas. They had to land. As the plane slid to a stop, the weight caught up with its momentum. It was a slush cake they had landed on. Ice, big as a milkshake, filled the cabin. Eastman, in the back, followed Johnson out. Ice had seeped through his clothing. They barely made it to the top of the plane. The slush was so cold, burned like fire. We dumped the icy slush from inside our soaked clothes and underwear, put them back on. And finally we huddled shivering on top of the wing. I looked at Warren and said, "You know we're dead." He looked at me and just nodded. We knew it too. Nobody knew of their whereabouts. They had no food or water, and the airplane could sink at any moment. I don't know how we survived the first night, but we did. The temperature was dropping, and I figured if the plane stayed afloat, it'd be just a matter of hours before we'd freeze to death. Sitting there with my frozen hands tucked under my arm, the only thing that really disturbed me about dying was that I'd never seen my children grow up. All through the long second night, they crouched on top of the plane, not daring to move, for the fear the precariously floating plane would sink. The ice cake began breaking up from the impact of other pieces of ice grinding against it. The pressure started collapsing the plane like an eggshell. The plane slowly started to sink. They jumped on a floating square of ice, and it too started to break. They jumped to yet another piece of ice. It didn't hold them either. For the next hour, we desperately reached from one little chunk of ice to another. Finally, we found a 20-foot piece of ice. That held it. We were exhausted and half frozen. We huddled together and spent our second terrible night on the ice. Sunday morning came, and somehow we were still alive. I remember now. I couldn't believe my ears. I looked up, and a huge twin airplane plane flew right over the top of us and went right on by. I told Warren they're looking for an airplane, and even if they saw us just two specks out here, they probably think we were seagulls. Eastman and Johnson being found and rescued was a 10 million to 1 shot. Two black dots drifting in millions of square miles of ice and ocean, and only two planes searching. When picked up by helicopter, neither man could move. Eastman went to his ranch in Wyoming to recuperate. Months of excruciating pain followed. He lost all of his fingernails and toenails, and narrowly escaped having his limbs amputated. After that summer in Wyoming, he was still determined to return to the Arctic to finish his film.